What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Sorry, my Spire says I'm out of date on my Spire protection, but we'll fix that later. But today we're going to talk about my Nationals experience. I know yesterday we did a main deck Monday. I was hoping to get into home kind of earlier to record a Rogue Tuesday. But this week's going to be kind of different schedule-wise. You'll see what happens during the week. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. Going to cover a lot of decks for Worlds. And eventually we will flip over to the new format. It's kind of not fun to play a PTCGO with like the new format coming in September while you're playing against old decks like Night March and stuff with Battle Compressor and stuff like that. So it's not a lot of fun to test right now. And I know also my mic is not the best. I apologize for that. I'm trying to fix it, but I also just bought me a new mic. So within 2 to 3 days, a new mic will be here. I think it's something wrong with this mic because I didn't touch it and all of a sudden it makes this weird high pitched noise. I still don't know if it does it or not. I mean, I guess we'll find out after this video, but hopefully the new mic does not do that. If it does do that, I'll have to look at my computer and blah, blah, blah. But let's not worry about that too much. We're going to talk about my deck that I use for Worlds. If you don't know Worlds this weekend, I don't know where you've been. First off, Mega Adino 1, which is still crazy to me. Greninja kind of just passed and didn't really do anything. But still, it was really cool to see Mega Adino. I wish it was on stream more. I think we only saw it in the finals. We didn't see a top 4 or top 8, sadly, but that's okay. But this is a deck I played. A lot of people did expect me to play Vesco Valplum because that's what I played all year. But I really didn't play like Vesco Valplum too much. I did play a bunch of different decks. It just happens that I won states with Vesco Valplum, and people always are like, "Oh, you're playing Vesco Valplum because you won states with it." And I'm like, "No, not really." So I don't know. I think Zoroark was a really good call. At the time, I thought it was a really good call because the Night March and Trevenant being the most hyped decks. When I talked to people, they're like, "Oh, Trevenant Night March, Trevenant Night March." Night March, and I was like, that's fine. I can beat the deck with Zoroark, take 2 losses, make 6-2, and get it day 2. But we'll go over the tournament report and see what happens. And it's just a very kind of, I say standard Zoroark, but it's totally different. So I remember Kevin Baxter. Kevin Baxter's probably the Zoroark king, and we talked about this a lot. I pretty much knew I was playing this about a week before Worlds. Not the exact 60 list, but like I wanted to play Zoroark for sure. The 3-1 Yveltal is really good. Pitch Black Spirit, Fright Night. Fright Night makes no Tokars work, so you can like Sky Return from a Shaymin to a Fright Night Yveltal with like a Joltik in the active with a Fighting Free Belt, so that you knock it off, which is really amazing. The 4-4-1 Zoroark is pretty much staple. The Zoroark Break is so good with foul play. You just copy any attack, like Grenade Hammer and stuff like that, which we'll talk about later. That was really a good card. One Druddigon as well for the Revenge, 70 plus 20 if they were knocked out. And then with the Muscle Band, 110, you can Lysandre Shaymins for days and win games that way. 1 Poké Puff, your opponent reveals their hand, put any number of basic Pokemon down onto their bench. 4 Puzzle of Time to reuse any of the cards, reuse 2 cards in your discard pile, which is really great. So you can reuse Target Whistle, Poké Puff, or DCEs, whatever you need. It's a really good card. Now I might struggle some against like lock decks like Size Toad and Trevenant, but I think with the this deck's not complete. Hold on a second. There it goes. Now it's complete. I meant to put a third in. The third in wasn't in there. But with 3 ends, 4 Sycamore, 1 Hex Maniac, you have enough draw support, which is really nice, I think, which is really cool. 1 Target Whistle, bring a Pokemon to discard pile. 4 Trainers Mail AOR, 4 via Seeker, max consistency. 1 Hex Maniac to mainly shut down Trevenants, but you can do multiple things as well. Like turn 1, you get set up, hex your opponent so they can't do anything. 2 Lysandre, which is really nice. 3 in, 4 Sycamore. 1 Reverse Valley. Now you can get away with playing 1-1-1 because you do play the 4 puzzle times, which is really nice. 2 Float Stone, 3 Muscle Band, 4 DC, and 5 Dark. Now we don't play Super Rod either anymore. Once again, Puzzle does cover this, which is really nice. Unless you are trainer locked, then you have to be careful and not Sycamore away your Pokemon. But sometimes you do have to do that, which is, I think it's a fine as well. But actually, I can remember like a lot of my games, not exactly 100%, but I can tell you how I won and what happened there. So round 1, I'm playing against, oh man. Okay, so first of all, like I said, when I made this deck, I was like, oh, Night March and Trevenant are going to be the big decks, you know. Maybe some Water Box, but that's about it. Maybe Vesco Valplum, which this deck has 3 and 4 Sycamore, like I said, so you should be able to beat this, which is pretty nice. Now, round 1, I'm playing against a Japanese player, Ryotaro. I think that's how you say his. Nani, I don't know how to say his last name, I apologize. But I sit down, whenever we start talking. He mulligans and he shows me like Octillery Water Energy, and I'm like, all right, this could be multiple things. Like I'm kind of scared. Like kind of rogue decks always scare you. Like, oh, what is this? What rogue deck are we playing today? And turns out it's good Ninja, and he beats me 2-0 pretty quickly. Like, this deck struggles with Greninja because they can, like, limit their bench space to, like, 1 or 2 Pokemon, which is bad for you, and they don't play any EXs. The whole point of this deck is to knock out Shaymins, win that game, so I get 2-0 pretty easily, so I'm 0-1 from the start. I'm like, well, this is great. Great way to start off. And so now we're playing next playing against Tim Totiel from New Zealand. Really amazing guy. A lot of fun. Also, the Japanese player was really, really amazing as well. Yeah, it was really fun. He didn't really speak that well of English, but we had a lot of fun. He was laughing and stuff. Like, I don't know, if you ever see me play Pokemon in real life, you know that I'm always, like, just goofing around having fun. And so he had a lot of fun, even though we had, like, a language barrier. It was still pretty cool. Next up was Tim from New Zealand. Really nice guy. We talked about the New Zealand players and everything like that. But he's playing Night March, which is a really good matchup for me. You can, like I said, you Lysandre Shaymins. You can fill your bench up with all Zoras, so they can't, like, you know, do anything as well. He did dead draw. I'm like 100% sure he dead drew, and I was like, I felt real bad. I was like, man, I know game 1 we had a pretty good game, but I know when that game 2 he just didn't do anything, and won that one pretty easy. Night March is probably one of your easy matchups. Now next up is, oh my goodness. Oh man, it's from Finland. He watches my channel. Okay, so his name is Olivin. Oh, Ojevin. I can't remember his name. He told me for like 3 to 5 minutes how to say his name. And if you watch my YouTube channel, if you're new here, I'm really bad at pronouncing names. So that was like a struggle as well. But I'm pretty sure. Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure he's playing the Fighting Zygarde deck, yeah. So he's playing the Zygarde Vileplume deck, which I'm a little bit scared because, you know, Zoroarks are weak to dark. Like, you're like, oh, weak to dark, that is bad. But you do have Yveltal, which is resistant to fighting, and you have the Frightened Yveltal, which is resistant to fighting as well. Now, I think I can't remember. I want to say he did get Vileplume out both games pretty easily, but when you do this, you fill your bench up pretty easily. So, like, Mind Jack can take knockouts, which is pretty nice. I know game 1 for sure. He had like 10 damage on. I know how game 1 ended for sure. He had like 10 damage on a Zygarde. I can't remember how. For some reason, I think like maybe I Blizzwing and he healed it or something. I can't remember exactly how the 10 damage was on there. Maybe it was maybe it was full HP. Maybe, I don't know. It was either full HP or not. But what happened is I Hex Maniac double puzzle to do what I like target whistle and something else, get his bench full, and then get Zoroark out, had the DC muscle band to knock it out. Like, he was pretty much going to win the game, and then I'm pretty sure I know a Hex. I Hex because he had Vileplume play. Double puzzle for something at Trainers Mail. Trainers will hit the card I want to, like, win the game. And I was like, yeah, one shot. He was like, yeah, that's a one shot. So that was pretty cool. Game 2, he didn't have the best setup, and I won that one. So I'm pretty sure that was a 2-0. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that one was a 2-0. It was a really fast game, fighting Vesca Vileplume. Alright, so next up we are playing against. Alright, so he's from Italy, I'm pretty sure. Nick, Nicol with the little O with the sickle little thing in front of it. He is playing. He sits down, and I know immediately who it is. He's the guy from the Italian streams that was playing Greninja in top 8 or top 4. He played against like Trevenant, and he had this one moment where his bench was just filled with like 60 damage on his Frogadiers, and he lost like the next turn or something like that. So I know as soon as he sits down, he had played Greninja, and I was like, oh man, another Greninja deck. I'm so scared. But he tells me I'm playing a deck I've never played before. I'm like, alright, this is good because I know he played Greninja at Nationals, so I'm not worried that it's Greninja unless he lied to me here. But it turns out he's not lying to me. Really, really nice guy. He is playing Night March. Once again, Night March is a pretty easy matchup. You have Revenge. You got Pitch Black Spear. You Skyreach and Pitch Black Spears. The Fright Night. I can't remember if this game is kind of blurry. Usually the Night March games are all kind of the same. And plus this is on Friday, so a lot has happened since then. So I can't remember my best. I want to say it went 2-0, but either way, I know I won this game. Once again, Night March is pretty easy. You just Mind Jack for a ton of damage for your bench up, so your opponent can use a Pokemon, captivate a Pokebud, bring Pokemon down, target whistle, bring out Shaymins. So that's really cool. I think it's one of the best matchups ever. Night March. I've never lost a match playing this against Night March. Like, it's easy, your easiest matchup, which is pretty cool, and I do like it a lot. All right, so next up, we're playing against a guy from Canada, Alan Zhu. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but I know it's Alan for sure. And he sits down and he's playing. He sits down. And he's like, "Oh man, I'm playing my auto loss." And I'm like, "Okay, I wonder what he thinks I'm playing." So he's thinking. He's like, "Oh yeah, my friends told me you're playing this deck, and I auto lose and stuff like that. I can't beat it." And I flip over Zora, and he goes, "Huh, I think I could beat this match." And I was like, "Oh, what they tell you I'm playing?" And he's like, "Oh, they told me you're playing Vesco Valpo." I'm like, I wonder what he's playing. So he starts off with like Hoopa or something. I'm pretty sure it was like Hoopa or something like really bad. Maybe not Hoopa. It was a Shaymin. It was either, I think it was no. It was Sisto. I know for sure it's Sisto. So it's Sisto. So he starts Sisto. My turn one, I captivated Pokepuff, and I dropped two Shaymins in the field, like double Shaymin. And he was like, "Oh man, he doesn't have anything," so I knock out a Toad, and then I think I knock out a Toad with like Zoroark or something, and then I start using Pitch Black Spear, 60 at Shaymin, next turn 60 at Shaymin. To win the game pretty easily. The game one went pretty fast. Game two, he got set up. Water Fox is actually a really hard matchup because he have like enhanced hammers to get rid of your DCs. They Quake Punch you, so you can't use Puzzle Times. They don't have to fill their bench up either. They can. If your opponent doesn't fill the bench up, you can kind of like go for a foul play grenade hammer kind of combo, and they kind of punch them. But game two, he easily wins this one. But game three, I know for sure he has a bad setup. I know he starts like a Roar EX. I'm pretty sure, and I know there's like a key moment in the game. He like ends me to 4 cards, and I hit like Zoroark Dark something, and I go Zoroark Break, Dark Energy, Grenade Hammer. He can't like knock out the Zoroark Break immediately, and then from there I'm able to win the game. So that was a really good game. Like that game should have been streamed. Like that was a really amazing game. It was a lot of fun playing that one for sure. So now we're sitting at what 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4-1. Like I'm really excited. 4-1. We have 3 rounds left. I only have to win 2 out of 3, and we're in cut. So next up, I'm sitting down and I'm playing against this guy named Cody, well, I we won't say which Cody is right now. So I'm sitting down and I mulligan. He sees like double puzzle target whistle, and he's like, "Oh, a Night March deck. I played this deck twice, 3 times, and I can beat it pretty easily." And in my head, when he says that, I'm like, "Oh, please let it be a Trevenant player. Let me play my first Trevenant." I'm so excited. He thinks he's playing Night March. But he flips over Talonflame, and I'm like, "Talonflame? What deck are we playing against?" And he starts getting out his frogs, and from there, it was game over. Like, he destroyed me so quick. I know game 1, he got Talonflame set up, blah, 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 he beat me. Game 2, I start with this guy, the Pitch Black Spirit, Yveltal, Touch of Dark, pass. His turn, he Froakies, Water Energies, Bubble, Hex. And I'm like, "Oh no, we had the donk, but we didn't get any Zoras down turn 1, so we couldn't stand in to get the Yveltal the action spot." And from there, he set up a 1. I got the DC in my hand next turn to actually pitch back with the Froakie to win the game. But from there, it still would have been like really, really close. We might have tied, depending on how fast his price card took. Greninja's a bad matchup, but it's also a really long game because he takes 1 shot. He has to knock out Zoroarks, but once he gets set up, he's good to go. But it does take him like 15 to 20 minutes sometimes to set up all the way with both sides of the field playing. So maybe we could have squeaked out a tie, but even then, like, it was so bad, you really don't want to tie regardless. So this is actually Cody, who got 2nd place at Worlds. So I'm not sad at all. He got 2nd place at Worlds. Congrats to him. Huge shout out. I know he kind of sat there and didn't do anything with his Froakies and everything like that. But I mean, still congrats to Cody for making 2nd place. Really, really nice guy. Really a lot of fun playing him. I was goofing around the whole time, just goofing around off because I know it's a bad matchup. So next round, I'm really excited. I get to our table and oh man, I can't remember his name right now. It's on top of my tongue, from Texas. One of the stream coordinator guys is sitting there at my table, and I'm like, "Oh baby, it's about to go down." And so we're getting on stream. Actually have a picture right here. Look at that. That's beautiful. If you don't know, I take pictures of all my opponents, so it's a really cool thing I do, so I can remember who my opponents are. But sit down, we're going to stream. It's against Joseph Phillip from Great Britain. And actually, last round when I played against Cody, that was the first time I played against an American all throughout the whole tournament. So Japanese, New Zealand, Finland, Italian, Canadian, United States, and Great Britain. So one United States player. So I'm super excited playing against like people I'll never like see throughout the year, which is pretty cool. But we go on stream and Joseph just, you know, it turns out he's playing Water Blocks and he just kind of destroys me. He plays 2 Enhanced Hammer as well. Like game 1, he dropped 1 Enhanced Hammer. And I was like, oh, okay, 1 Enhanced Hammer's not bad. But then he played 2 the second game and I was like, oh, we pretty much lose this. Once again, like Quake a Punch. And also, he was, like, he did this really cool play with Articuno that Alan didn't do. He would, like, Quake it Punch with the fighting free belt. They retreat to Articuno and Triage Zoroark for like a double prize knockout because Articuno could take 2 prize cards, which is really cool. That was like the coolest play. I was like, I can't do anything. Like I have to knock out this Articuno, but then you grenade him by Zoroark, and now I'm out of Zoroark. You already took 3 prize cards, and now I'm in trouble. So that's what happened. I don't think I got set up either, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't get set up, but it's still fun. I had a lot of fun. It wasn't really streamed. Like I was on the table, but it was like an emergency stream. I know Brit Pybus got streamed that round, and people were like, I see your back of your head. And I was like, oh, but you can't see me lose. So, whatever. It was still a lot of fun. It was a really cool game. And then Joseph, of course, he beat me, but he made it to day 2. Congrats to Joseph as well from Great Britain. In the last step playing is Scott Burgess, playing a Lucario Bats deck. This is another very interesting matchup. He has to put his bats down. He has to put his bats down, which gives me which lets me like Mind Jack, which is pretty nice. But we have like Pitch Black Spirit, Druddigon. That game went 2-0 pretty quickly, and yeah, so we ended up the day being 5-3. So my 2 losses was to 2 Greninjas and a Water Toolbox, which we played against another Water Toolbox. We got really lucky by like Pokepuff those 2 Shaymins down. I'm pretty sure like me and Alice game, like if there's a game to stream, me and Alice game should be a stream. Like I know game 2 and game 3 were like really close, and it was a really lot of fun. But all the players were really nice. It was a really fun experience. And there's gonna be a Worlds vlog coming up sometime this week. I just gotta edit it, and hopefully I'll get my mic soon. Hopefully it's not too bad with the audio. If anybody knows how to fix it, let me know. But I looked at a lot of things. People said, I think it has to do something inside of my mic or something. I tried multiple things. But, man, Worlds was so much fun. Got to meet a lot of people. Got to take pictures, sign autographs. It was so amazing. If you didn't go, next year it's in Anaheim, California, if you haven't heard, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. I mean, I'm excited. I'm fine with going to Cali again. I've never been to California. This is my first time going. I probably won't be able to go again until next Worlds if I get my Worlds invite. So I'm excited to see what happens next year at Worlds. Congrats to the Japanese for winning. I can't remember the guy top of my head now with Megadina. That's really crazy. But don't worry. We'll cover the Worlds decks. I got some other decks as well. Like there was a Volcania that made like 10th and like 13th or 12th or something. I got his list and some other people's lists and stuff like that. So it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll do some interviews. I know I've talked to Jesper. He wants to do an interview about his Yon Mega deck while he played and stuff like that. That should be really interesting. We just got to work out the time schedule because it's really hard to set up time, especially since he lives in a different country. But guys, thanks for watching. Sorry I didn't make it a day 2. But still a lot of fun. 5-3, can't complain. Just 1 win off. I don't know what's worse, like going 0-3 or 5-3. Just like, man, if only I won 1 more game. But some people are like, do you wish you played Vescavalpum instead? And to them, I said, yeah, I do wish I played Vescavalpum instead. If I knew that Water Box and Greninja was going to be everywhere, I would easily have played that deck. But then it's still Vescavalpum. You just kind of sometimes run into a wall and lose regardless. And so that's why I played Zoroark. Zoroark has pretty much can set up pretty easily. It always, you know, it's really consistent with the 4 Trainers Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, the puzzles, you know, the 3 and 4 Sycamore. You have a lot of draw cards, stuff like that. Whereas like Vescavalpum only play like 2 supporters and 4 Shaymins. So that's why I went to the deck instead. But still a lot of fun. I'm glad to meet everybody at Worlds. Yeah, it was amazing. Look out for the Worlds vlog. Should be up sometime this week. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday, we'll start doing a new series about. We're gonna talk about Worlds decks and stuff like that. And I think September 1st is when the rotation happens, which is like next Thursday. So on the 5th, we'll have our first like main deck Monday, talk about the new stuff, and it's gonna be a lot exciting. I know there's some people covering stuff already and blah blah blah. Some on Mega Mewtwo and all that stuff, but there's a lot of decks out there. I think that are a lot better than those decks, and we'll see them for sure. So I'm excited. I'm ready for the new season of Pokemon to start. And September 1st is also when they announce how many points is required for Worlds, which is another key thing to note as well. So I'm excited to see that. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great Tuesday. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to our 3 sponsors, 60 Cards, Yeti Gaming, and the Pokemon Company International. Links to everything will be down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty.